Pound.
In a world,
Shut the hell up.
where Carolina Panthers fans
Anthony from Charlotte, keep motherfucking pounding.
have an insatiable thirst
I need to see a lot more of that shit going forward.
for Panthers news and opinions.
All my C3 brethren from the C3 Legion.
Only one podcast roars ferociously.
The longest running Panthers podcast on the internet.
It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Oh, Greg, I owe y'all $100, man.
What is up, Panther fans? The Carolina Panthers have won 2 games in a row under Bryce Young. I think it's the first time in his career to do so. A giant killer. A team that has become a coach killer. The Carolina Panthers win in overtime because of a fumble. But we'll take it. We'll take anything. Signs of life for Bryce Young. Chuba Hubbard, a monster. And the Panthers find a way to get it done in Germany. You're listening to the C3 Panthers postgame show. I'm Tony Dunn, faceless, not voiceless just yet, getting there. Welcome to the postgame. I'm here with Cody Lack, my man, my wheel man. How you doing?
Chuba. Let's go, baby. That is why you pay Chuba Hubbard all that money, dude. He already had 153 yards, the best game of his career. A touchdown, 4 out of 6 receiving. Chuba Hubbard is that dude. We ran the football effectively. The defense showed up in some big moments, even though they sort of floundered there at the end. And how about this, boys? Bryce Young continues to grow and get better and take that next step to him being the continued quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. Today is a W from Germany. Guten Tag. And you know we're going to do this with the best damn Panther fans and all of you too. We got Better Gaming, Blackfire, Dan Floyd, Matto Lomax, Michael Williams, Nanook of the North, Panther Blue, Preston Martin, Roosevelt Mongo, Sean Butler, Stephen Bailey, Trap X, and the brand ambassador, These Ill Skills. Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
The number is 252-228-5098. We'd love to get your thoughts on today's game, the continued improvement of Bryce Young, as well as how this team is scrapping and clawing towards victories and what that means for the Panthers' future. In some ways, I think it takes some pressure off them heading into next year's draft. CK, we played a team today with a quarterback worse than ours. And you know what? Still, towards the end, the Carolina Panthers gave them an opportunity to creep into this game and send it to overtime. But a big-time fumble on the first play allows the Panthers to get the ball, get the win because of an Eddie Pinheiro kick.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of the same. I know that this defense showed up big, but it also had balls go its way today. In a lot of ways, this wasn't all just an incredible dominant performance by this defense. They continue to have red flags in the run game, even when you know that's all they can do is run the ball. The play calling continues to be suspect on the defense as well, with this continued effort to try to do these zone schemes and what have you. Yeah. I'm still concerned about the way that this team played today, or the defense played. The defense won the game. Let's be real about something. I mean, I'm gonna give them their flowers, but I do not think it's unfair to say that they were the weakest link today. Again.
Yeah, I mean, look, as we know who the Carolina Panthers are, they're a team where the defense doesn't have a lot of horses as it is, but the guys that were out there were making some plays when it comes to the secondary. We get a turnover that was needed at one point in the game. And the defense is doing enough against a very, very bad team, a terrible offense. But, hey, that's what we got to work with, and continue to see development from Bryce Young, which is a good sign under the best circumstances for him trying to renew his career in Carolina and really salvage his career in the NFL. But, boy, did the Carolina Panthers go out there, slay a giant in name only, but may have gotten another coach fired. And to me, that would be a great thing to do, is just go through the league and destroy coaching careers. That's a way for me to be happy.
Yeah, at least someone can share in our misery. And that way, anytime they feel that name Carolina Panthers, they're like, they either love us or they hate us because we're getting their coaches fired. Dude, listen, I feel like, one, like Kristen Butler says, I need to do my due diligence and show love to the boy Eddie Pinheiro, who was clutch when we needed him. Clutch, came in and won the fucking game, y'all. Listen, let's be real. This was close up until the wire. It goes into overtime. And if it wasn't from a fumble from a Giants running back, we could have easily lost this game. I mean, who knows? Our defense at the end of the game was looking incredibly porous, failing to stop them on that last drive where I believe Daniel Jones went 6 for 6. So, again, man, those clutch moments, players getting in there to make a play, I think that mattered. And another player that I would like to spotlight, just in my brief assessment, is J.C. Horn. That dude is a dog. He's ready to fight people. He's running in people's hip pockets. For the most part, Malik Neighbors did not get the better of J.C. Horn today. He had some good catches, but, dude, J.C. Horn is indeed the shutdown corner that we thought he was. And thank God, baby, it's about time. I'm loving it.
It's kind of strange. Go ahead, CK.
Yeah, I was going to say J.C. Horn showed up. I mean, again, this secondary continues to impress, and I still think you're going to have me incredibly unconvinced that Dan Morgan hasn't done probably the best job in the NFL of trying to build a team with absolutely nothing. And dude, I mean, this dude, point to me a position. You know, Deontay Johnson is one that I think people are going to probably point to, saying that he lost on that. I really don't think so, because based on the sounds of it, it sounds like that Deontay Johnson asked for a trade. So our leverage was completely gone. And so I don't think that there's a miss. And if there is, it's, you know, at this point in time, it's minuscule. I think every part of this team is growing. And I absolutely love the way that secondary seems to be coming together. Wanham showed up in a couple of moments today as well. Like I said, the defense still has a lot of work, and if Clowney's out, in any extended period of time, we're going to be back to having no pass rush whatsoever, even though it was already limited to begin with.
Yeah,
it's kind of strange to think, as we felt in the depths of despair over, I guess, the last 8 weeks or so, that there are other fan bases out there that are in a deeper depression than we are. And you got to know that Giant fans out there are really upset because Daniel Jones is just bad. He is not good. And that team right there has some talent on it, it seems like. It did not look like they were trying to lose this season, but they are losing at a pace that's stunning. So there's a couple of fan bases out there, and I guess we're the measuring stick, the litmus test for sad fan bases. And as their sadness grows, somehow we're getting stronger, we're getting happier, and we got a W.
And how about this, Dixon? We about to beat the Chiefs, baby. Let's go. We're running the football, dude. Hey, I think we have a top 5 offensive line in the NFL. Listen, dude. Also, I'm about to come up here and boast. Can we collectively get some fucking love for the boy Brady Christensen, shutting down Burns the majority of the game, looking great at left tackle? Again, we should reiterate that the Panthers are still playing bully ball on the offensive line, even though we're down players. We're down a center and a left tackle, and yet we are still out there rolling. Cade Mays had a couple bad plays, but overall, I think he's looked much improved as a center. I think him in between Lewis and Hunt has actually been pretty damn good, and I think it shows us that we have some options going forward. And I just love that for us, man. It allowed Bryce Young to have a pocket to be able to step up into, observe the field, and get the ball out of his hands, man. I feel like we're finally starting to see that progression from our quarterback that we've been wanting to see because this O-line is so damn good, and it deserves to be said.
Absolutely. And there's some against, by the way, probably a top 5 defensive line in the league that they were able to provide. I mean, Bryce had some time where plays where he was just like in the pocket forever and had the ability to let the play develop and what have you. Again, not a dominant performance from Bryce, but I'll tell you what, I love this tweet by Panthers Culture. Brian Burns left the worst team in the NFL to get paid by the worst team in the NFL.
That's awesome.
And still put up similar numbers, if not worse.
Yeah, 100%.
The mess in Munich is one person put it.
Yeah, dude. Hey, Tony, shout out to our friend, old school Panther fan, for the $5 C3 bomb. Says, great to win 2 in a row, but we've only played one half of that game. We have to find a way to play a complete game. And that is the truth, man. There were multiple opportunities where, we kept this game a lot closer than it needed to be. And again, I know that, Twitter isn't real life and we're probably on it a little bit too much there, but there is still this growing voice of people who are upset at the play calling from Dave Canales, mainly on 3rd and 4th downs, like on these short yardage distances. He continues to kind of just call these dumb, boneheaded plays. He will veer away from the run when it is working, and then when it isn't working, he'll try and force it and make it happen even more. I felt like that really happened a lot in the 4th quarter today, too. I don't know, man. I think the play calling has not been great, but the consistency of our offensive line play and Bryce starting to see the field better and Jalen Coker and Xavier Leggett continuing to look better and develop this year has been great for everyone involved. And last but not least, JT Sanders with his first NFL touchdown. The Panthers are on the right track, man. There's definitely stuff we have to do better, but we are undeniably moving the right direction with 2 wins in a row under our belt, now going into the bye. I'll take it, brothers. I'll take it.
The number is 252-228-5098. You can support the show by smashing the thumbs up button, subscribing, maybe be a friend, tell a friend, share the link on social media, let somebody know about the C3 Panthers postgame show and our podcast on Tuesday nights live at 9 p.m. Cody, let's go ahead and maybe start thinking about jumping into some calls. And as we're doing that too, we got to do the underdog read, and I can't pull up the read itself because I'm just sitting in my truck right now. You can just do the disclaimer and we'll get through it. Guys, we really appreciate it. Support the show. Consider being a C3 super fan. Let's take some calls, Cody.
Let's do it. The number, if you would like to be a part of the discussion, leave a message on our Cat Calls line at 252-228-5098. Let's do it, C3.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in the snow? Who's that kid that can use one?
Is it not playing? Hold on. We got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your friend from up here in Mass. Not the cool guy, the other guy, the asshole. The guy that, brought on all this losing shit because I'm, a bad luck charm, even though I was there whenever Sam Darnold whooped the Lions' ass. It's your boy Nick from up here in Mass. How you guys doing? Just here to eat my crow. I gotta say, I gave Chuba a whole bunch of shit over the years. Okay, and Drew, I will never forget the day where I went back to watch a Panthers game, and you're like, oh yeah, nothing special, and I'm sitting there stoned off my ass, and all of a sudden the first thing I hear coming off the broadcast is Chuba Hubbard is back to return, and I almost spit out my beer. The fuck how this guy has come up. I got to give him his flowers. Dude, you definitely deserve that. Okay, with what you've done this year, you just got to keep it rolling. Okay, don't let this be a one-time thing. You got your bag because you earned it. Now keep earning that bag. Okay. Part of me wonders how J.C. Horn feels about this because we're coming up on time to pay him, but he needs to prove that he's going to be healthy. And with what he's done this year, I'm cool with extending him, but you got to make it through at least 13 games this season. Ideally, I'd like to see you make it through all of them, but you got to make it through 13 in order for me to even consider extending it. But guys, the one thing that we always have to remember is how many players were down on defense. Like, our defense looked good this past weekend. Okay. And yeah, we got the Giants coming up in London, and I'm calling before the game. Okay. But our defense has been down. How many starters? Okay. Evero hasn't necessarily looked the best, but I'm sorry, when you take away more than half the starters for somebody, that kind of kills any momentum they could have had. So, love the show, guys, and hopefully we whoop some Giants' ass over. Oh shit, we aren't in London. We're over in Munich. Hopefully we whoop some Giants' ass over in Germany, but you know, this might be the worst thing that's happened in Germany since World War II. Oh, probably should have done that.
Hey yo,
I said it. My bad. Don't hate me. I love you all. Keep pounding, guys.
Keep pounding.
Interesting point, though, of the game. We had not seen the game, or Nick had not seen the game. The game hadn't been played yet. And the two things that he called out are very important. One, Chuba Hubbard continued to earn the bag and play it out of his mind, right? Continuing to be a force behind that good offensive line.
Yeah.
And second, you see a depleted defense, but you also see J.C. Horn continuing to each game, be out there and be a presence. And really, what a great thing this could be if Bryce Young continues to develop to where we could have him as our quarterback at least for the next few years. And then you've got Chuba Hubbard to build around on an offense, you know, behind that wall. And then you can get J.C. Horn extended and try to find a way to strengthen that defense in the next couple of years.
Hell yeah. By the way, so our man J.C. Horn, only 18 minutes ago, took to Twitter and said, Panthers motherfucking win, baby. Oh, I love it. I love the energy, man.
A winning Panthers team and having J.C. Horn on Twitter actually engaging and being excited is going to be fun.
It's awesome, man. And listen, I agree with Nick. Like, we wanted to see him continue to grow and be healthy. But now we really can say that when the dude is out there on the field, he has the potential and the ability to shut down any wide receiver in the NFL, dude. I believe that. And how about this? He is damn sure the best corner in the NFC South. The dude is a beast, man. I don't care who says it. Listen, we heard a report like a couple of weeks ago that they were looking to pay Chuba Hubbard and they were looking to pay J.C. Horn. And we've already seen them break off Chuba Hubbard in his bag. I have a feeling that J.C. Horn is going to be right around the corner. I wouldn't even be surprised if you maybe see that happen before the end of this season. Why not jump ahead of it and pay him now? Learn our lessons of the mistakes that we made with Burns and a few other players. Get them on a better, reasonable contract now than have him continue to ball out and then get even more expensive under his fifth-year option. I love the fact that we do finally have that shutdown corner, man.
All right, let's keep going through with the calls, Cody.
Let's do it.
Whoa! Let's go, baby! Game ain't even started. I'm up and ready. I'm up and ready.
Yeah.
Whoa! I'm ready to hit, boy! It's Blue from fucking Fort Myers. It's showtime.
What up, Blue?
It's 9:30. It's 9:33 right now when I'm making this call. And I'm ready. I want a dub. I woke up for this shit.
Have you a dub?
Around 10 o'clock. No, I woke up for this shit.
Want some, get some.
Dan Canales, Dave Canales, you hearing me? If I woke up for this shit, better fucking win. Whoa! Yeah! My neighbor's looking at me.
Yeah.
It's 5:30 o'clock in the morning. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know about Tuba Hubbard. They don't know about Edgar Leggett. They don't know about Jalen Coker. Jalen Coker, 8-time touchdown at plus 500 right now. They don't know about that. Shout out to the courageous Cody Lack. The
Yes, sir.
courageous CK. No illnesses though, you know what I'm saying? Because what you saying be contagious. People picking it up, dropping. You feel? And Tony, to the talkative, level Tony, thank you, because I'm ready. I'm up, bro. I feel like I just did like 3 lines. Don't drugs with. Oh, I'm tight. Ah!
Let's go.
I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that there's excitement among Panther fans, and that felt like a feeling that couldn't exist just 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. Hey, tell me if this is the same one. Hang on.
Yep.
It is.
Guten Tag, C3. Wie heißt Sie? That means how are you guys? In German, I used to live in Germany for a little bit. It's Link from North Alabama. I lived in Germany for about 5 years as a kid. So we won unconventionally against, the better judgment of our offensive coordinator and our guys committing dumb penalties, but they are the Giants. So Bryce Young wasn't terrible. He wasn't great. Didn't break the 200-yard marker that I saw. Maybe he did when I wasn't looking. But Chuba, glad we paid the boy. We won. First international game I think we've won yet. And it was good winning it in Germany. First NFL game in Germany, so I'll take it as a win. Well, we can maybe move with Bryce as long as we just keep stacking every position around him, and he'll be our Dilfert, whatever his name is for that Bucks team from 2000, when the Bucks is one tier on defense and running backs. Okay, I'll stop talking, but keep pounding. Wunderbar, as they say in Germany. Wonderful.
Wunderbar.
Keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
Want to celebrate Bryce Young, and just again, he faced a lot of mental adversity in the first season and a half as a pro. I'm glad to see him smiling and gaining some confidence and improving. But you really can tell the height is a disadvantage for him. Even on the great throws, it seems like he's like hoping it's going to get there. He's hoping it can see it well. And I'm not saying that again, I don't want this to be, it's a negative when we're seeing positives, but it's still apparent to me that it is not an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, what you going to do? We're not going to give him any platforms, But how about this? I did want to say this. I don't know if you boys noticed this, but I feel like, and yes, I get that it comes from running the football more, but there is a more concerted effort to put Bryce Young under center. And as counterintuitive as it might seem to some people, I think that's better of someone for Bryce Young's stature. I remember Dan Orlovsky did a video breaking down why Drew Brees was able to be so successful for such a long time, being a similar height and actually being under center and allowing your offensive lines to kind of let those sight windows open up for you. I think that that's really beneficial for those shorter quarterbacks. But also now that we're running the ball so effectively, it really, you can do a lot of damage with those play actions. There's just a lot of different things that you could do well on this offense by having Bryce under center more. And I think that's a great thing. And I think that we're finally starting to see Canales start to mold the offense a little more around Bryce Young. And I think that's a great thing. And again, y'all are going to think I'm pushing the narrative. And I fucking am. Brady Christensen is the best left tackle on this team, dude. And I know we're in this no man's zone where we don't know if if he's going to play center or if he's going to be a backup left tackle in the future or what have you. But I really do feel like the left side of that offensive line has been better with Brady Christensen on that side. And yes, I'm going to say it because I've been saying this shit since 2020, and he continues to prove it, putting Brian Burns in check all game. Dude, BC is the man. People have to start putting some respect on that dude's name, man. For real.
Really answered the call. And this is interesting because, the team is playing with a couple of backups, a backup center now, a backup left tackle. Kind of a referendum on Icky a little bit. And maybe a feather in your cap, Cody, because Icky might just be a guard, dude.
Talk that shit. Talk that shit, man. Listen, people call me crazy. I'm telling you, sometimes I know my shit. Let's take another call.
Woo. C3 Panther Nation, what is up? It feels so damn good to be calling after a win. This is Preston from Hickory. And, man, a dub overseas. It doesn't matter where it's at. I don't give a fuck where it was at. We got a fucking win, boys. That's what the hell I'm talking about. I really thought the way the first half went that we was going to dog walk them in the second. But, I mean, hey, a win's a win. We went back to the cardiac cat days on that one. And, am I the only one that about shit themselves when Chuba went down? I mean, I know it was a fumble and all that, but after we just paid him all that damn money, if he would have had a blown ACL or something, that was going to be real bad. But thankfully that didn't happen. Thankfully we come out with the win. And I ain't got too long of a call. I just wanted to call in and say, what's good to everybody. What's good to Panther Nation. What's good. We're good. We've got another dub. That's 2 wins in a row for Dayton Alice, baby. 2 wins in a row for BY, Bryce Young. So, real happy today. Real happy. Hopefully, we go into this bye, everybody get rested up, healed up. We got a test after that bye with the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see what we can do against them. But let's enjoy this win today, boys. C3 Nation, keep pounding. Keep pounding, baby.
Awesome call. Do we have any sense or any idea of what the details of Chuba and that scare were about?
No, I mean, he came back out there the next series and was running
the
like
way that he got tackled. It's like all of his weight came down on his left leg. It could have been way worse than it was. We'll say that. But yeah, I was terrified, man, because that would have been just our luck.
I know, like don't pay anybody ever again. That would be my thought.
And even at that point, it was already a career game for him. I think he was at around 138 yards at that point in time. Finished with 153. But the dude is just a beast. I love the guy, man. Like, how about this? If I buy another jersey at any point, anytime soon, it's going to be Chuba Hubbard.
This is a crazy comment or a cool comment too. Jeff R said Chuba had more rushing yards than Bryce had passing yards.
Oh God. Yeah.
But you know what though?
We didn't need Bryce
for success. We don't. Who wants Bryce to throw the ball 25 plus times a game?
No, but it's like I think that it's interesting is that even in the real moments that we're continuing to talk about development, we're really talking about average or below average numbers or statistics in a way. Or maybe not below average. That might seem that it's bad. It's just, it's just right now we're celebrating Bryce getting completions and moving the ball downfield and hitting hitting some of these field and getting confidence. But, that's okay. Chuba Hubbard needs to be that's what's going to help Bryce's development is to continue to churn Chuba down the middle or down the throat of these defenses.
Absolutely. And something else that, we have to continue to mention and we need to bring up, Miles Sanders got hurt. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. So I think that now we're finally going to be looking at, and it's great that we have a bye because that's even more time for everyone to rest up and heal up and lick their wounds. But I think now we're finally going to start to see what the future of that Chuba Hubbard, Jonathan Brooks combo looks like. And I know a lot of Panther fans were kind of hoping to trade Miles Sanders and get some value for him before the deadline. That's not going to happen. It's terrible that it does happen this way. We hope that Sanders isn't badly hurt, obviously, but this is going to be an opportunity for some of our younger guys to continue to step up. And also, I think it's poetic, the fact that you paid your brand new guards to give Bryce that extra protection in Hunt and Lewis. They're doing their job. Chuba Hubbard is now balling out of control, doing his job. Xavier Legette and Jatavion Sanders, 2 rookies, continue to impress. Jalen Coker has been nothing but a breath of fresh air that nobody really saw it coming. He had some fandom, but no one really saw it. Now you add Jonathan Brooks back to that. And these were all players who were brought in here, with the exception of Chuba, specifically to help Bryce Young develop as a quarterback and get better. Credit to Dan Morgan, because it looks like that's finally starting to happen.
All right, let's keep going.
Let's do it.
Woo. C3 Panther Nation, what is up? It feels so damn good to be calling after a win. This is
We just heard that one.
And man, woo.
Okay, I got doubles. My bad.
Yo, what's up, C3? It's Anthony from Charlotte. Hope y'all boys are having a good Sunday. I know I am. Great win. Early game today. Liked a lot of things I saw. Really, we were winning the whole time. Let the Giants back in there late, but still got the job done. Definitely pleased with how the team, has responded, how Bryce Young, I mentioned this in one of our chats. I mean, this is who you should expect from Bryce Young. He's got 3 rookie pass catchers. They're just trying to develop some guys. But he's managing the game just fine. And, I think that's important, that he's not turning the ball over. So, he's had, a couple good stretches of play here. Obviously, we got the Chiefs after a bye. We'll see how everything goes. We're at pick 9 now, not in contention right now for a top 3 pick. I'm glad the team won. I still think a top pick would definitely help this team. We'll see how it goes, though. Back half of the schedule now. And the Giants are really, really bad, man. I mean, really bad. Like, they were horrible today. J.C. Horn locked up Malik Neighbors. Daniel Jones is just pathetic. But yeah, you got to continue to keep starting Bryce. I know the numbers don't really they're not flashy or anything. But, he's managing the game. He's not turning the ball over. That's all you can really ask for him. Yeah, and we don't, no Adam Thielen. As I said, there's just rookie pass catchers, so there's a lot of things to build on for sure. I'm happy. We got a win, and we haven't gotten a lot of those over the past 2 years. So it's good to see. It really is. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. We got this bye to get ready for the Kansas City Chiefs. So the back half of the schedule starts. It's definitely tough. I got to give credit to Josie Jewell today. The defense definitely played great. The run defense wasn't good, but we made some stops, and they made some stops, and crucial. I mean, the Giants were in the red zone like 5 times and only had 2 touchdowns. So that's something you really got to think about. But as I said, like this is the back half of the schedule. We'll see what happens. But yeah, you gotta continue to ride Bryce out. There's no way, and Canales better not even think about putting in Andy Dalton because he gives us a better shot at the Chiefs. Just let the young guys play. Great game. Keep motherfucking pounding, boys. Have a good one.
Keep motherfucking pounding.
Yep.
You're listening to the C3 Panthers postgame show. It's brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, which is a great place to go if you want to win some money playing daily fantasy of sports, whether it's football, hockey, no more baseball right now, NBA in full effect. Guys, you can just go to Underdog Fantasy and use the promo code C3P and get up to $1,000 in bonus bets. And depending on your deposit, they have great promos. You can go right now. I saw CJ Stroud. They have basically a free pick for him, at least on my side of the app. And what I like to do is just go in and take Chuba Hubbard with the over each week, or Derrick Henry with the touchdown each week. And to me, you can put those together and make some money. C3P is the promo code, guys. Go to underdogfantasy.com, download the app, or, just get in there and make some money. Now you're celebrating the Panthers winning and making loot on Chuba Hubbard. You can also get in-game props right now. The 1 o'clock games are underway right now, and there's still time to get some props in right now. Promo code C3P, up to $1,000 in bonus bets or bonus money as you deposit for first-time depositors. Cody, tell them what the details are.
Yes, sir. Must be 18 years of age, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, 19 plus in Alabama and New England, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or text HOPE New York to 467-369. Thank you to Underdog Fantasy. That helps the C3 Panthers podcast continue to grow and help this podcast build. And they're going to be with us through February into the playoffs. Play some Underdog Fantasy. Use code C3P. Shout out to our boy Vegas Panthers Drew for a $10 C3 bomb. Says, don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but even Bryce Young's touchdown pass was low and could have even been incomplete. He isn't making back-breaking mistakes, but now he needs to start making some game-changing plays for us. Is that a reasonable assessment of Bryce Young at this point in time?
Well, yeah, that's always been a reasonable position to hold. Like we know that Bryce hasn't come out here and showed, that he hasn't put together a game where you're like, oh my gosh, this is the dude, right? But I tell you what, he looked a lot more like the Bryce that we were drafting last year than he has the past year and a half. So I'm going to take the baby steps. I don't think that's a Debbie Downer. I just think you've been unfortunately probably optimistic about a lot of things as a Panthers fan, and then been completely destroyed by things not going the way you anticipated. I don't think that makes you a bad fan. I just think that it's okay to give him the benefit of the doubt of being a better player today than he was last week or the week before. That's all that I can really say.
And the good part about that is there was a moment just a few weeks ago, or 2 months ago, a month ago, where you didn't even think that was a plausible scenario of Bryce going out there and finding a positive direction in a Carolina Panthers jersey. The Andy Dalton injury, the Panthers' failure, and really as to win any games in the season, brought in Bryce in a set of in some ways, the only and best circumstances he could get back out on the field. And he has each week done more to stay on the field and really given us a reason to continue not only to put him out there, but really to think long and hard about the future with Bryce Young as being the quarterback.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Hey, sorry to my boy White Chocolate. I missed the super chat with the $2 C3 bomb. He says, want them. That's all. Listen, a lot of people, I'm not naming any names specifically, but I feel like a lot of people owe Dan Morgan and DJ Wanham a bit of an apology. People were really upset that he wasn't able to start at the beginning of the season. Then you find out about all the complications that he had from the surgery that he was supposed to be ready for even before OTAs, I believe, or somewhere around there. This is just, and Dan Morgan caught a lot of heat for signing someone who was on the bench for so long, but he was a major factor today. And I think now you're at least seeing what our defensive line can do now that you have DJ Wonnum, now that you have JC Horn. It's definitely starting to look a little better. And I saw Mina Kimes on Twitter shaming people or shaming other teams for not going and trading for Jadeveon Clowney. So, hey, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That would have been a good, a person that a team that in need of a pass rush would have looked for. DK, as we take the next call, can you track down Wonnum's stats on today?
Yeah, we can try to see if we can find it.
All right, Cody, let's keep going.
All right, again, just tell me if we've heard him.
Okay, brothers, how y'all doing, boy? Woo, that was a game.
What up, G?
I was on the edge of my seat. That was a good-ass game. And Bryce was pretty damn good, man. You know what pisses me off, man? I was watching the game, and I was looking on Twitter and everything, and people were saying stuff that already damn happened. And I was like, damn it, man. When Jones ran one in, they said that he ran one in or whatever before it even happened. I was like, shit. And then once we went to overtime, my father, who lives in Goldsboro, texted me, and he was like, I see the Panthers won, man. He's like, I know you're happy. And I was like, damn it, man. But, hey, the Panthers won. And I'm going to tell you right now, Robinson played his ass off. He got a sack and a forced fumble in overtime. I'm telling you, man, I don't know about you guys, but this team looks different. The defense looked different, too. The defense looked pretty good today, even though they gave up that damn sorry-ass fucking run to the running back, and they let Jones run it in. But besides that, we did okay, man. We did okay. But we had 2 sacks and 2 interceptions. Man, that was something, man. That was something. I'm pretty damn happy, and I like the way my boys played today, man. Give me your thoughts on that, y'all. Yeah. And always remember, y'all, keep pounding.
Yeah. I know there are a lot of people. I think that there's some people who really wanted to have a high draft pick, and winning just feels like you're taking yourself out of that. I tell you what, the thing that you can look forward to with this team right now is we're probably going to have a top 10 pick. Let's be real about it. We're not taking these back-to-back wins against 2 and 7 teams as, as a reason to believe that we're going to propel ourselves to the playoffs. Stranger things have happened, but I don't think anybody sees this team and thinks that that's going to be a real outcome. So we're probably going to have a top 10 pick. The benefit of having the top 10 pick in this draft is we're going to get the best player at a position of need. So no matter where we fall, I know some people might like one player over another player, but we're going to get the best player in the draft at whatever position is available at that point in time. And it's going to be a position that we need, whether that's linebacker, whether that's defensive end, whether that's some other position, cornerback or safety. We have enough holes on this team to where we're going to get the best player in the draft for that position, no matter whether we're drafted in the top 5 or the top 10.
Yeah, man. I think we're in a good position to let the board fall where it may. We have a good number of draft picks now. And y'all enjoy my man Robert Hunt dancing while we move on to these next calls. This is G.
Okay,
right?
brother.
Yep, that was G. So we got 2 more calls left. Unless somebody would like to call 3 more, actually. Numbers 252-228-5098.
What up, C3 family? Oh, this is your boy, Vegas Drew. All right, as we're talking in spaces with our guy Pickle, I was in there talking, great game, win, we're loving it. Always is good to see it. We kind of talked about this. This is probably our last game where we're like, yeah, we got a good shot at this one. But we're building towards something positive about the win. But I'll say, and it's not a negative, I'm just saying that Bryce wasn't the world beater that people are like, oh my God, he had such an amazing game. And that's fine. If he is, I guess, efficient and solid in the pass game and we work, but he was efficient for a half. I feel like we as Panthers fans can be critical and not be labeled haters. I know these Bryce lovers are just going to freak out at this comment, that, he didn't have a great game. He didn't have a great game in our last one either. It's fine. As much is expected from him being that number one pick. So it's just kind of how it's going to go for him. I just want to see more. Like, he is making good plays. There was drops in the first half that would have made that first half even better. But he still has to play that second half, and that second half was not it. The only reason we really win this game is defense causing turnovers and Chuba running hard. I feel like Chuba and the defense really made Canales look good. Like, they won in spite of the play calling and kind of Bryce's decisions in that second half. Just what it is. It's not like it's the end of the world. That's my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. Like I said, I've never been the biggest Bryce fan, but he's a Carolina Panther, and I'm a Bryce supporter. So on top of that, keep pounding. Let's see if we can beat the Chiefs. Let's go, boys.
One thing to say about G-Baby's in the chat celebrating Bryce Young, which is, look, we need to acknowledge his development, celebrate that, and be like we are supporters of all the players on the team.
Yeah.
The previous caller, not this caller, talked about, I guess, really is this being a good thing for the Panthers, and it is. Like, is us losing draft, I guess, status and not being in the top maybe 5. What it does is gives us heading into next year a little bit more confidence in Dave Canales as a coach.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you have to continue to build on these small steps. Listen, was Bryce Young perfect? No. But let's be real. To start Bryce Young's career, he was absolutely abysmal. So the Bryce Young that we're seeing now, to me, even though he's still not all the way there, it's a night and day difference in what we have seen. And let's be real, to all of those who are, let's say it honestly, still not all the way sold on Bryce Young, this is the type of game that moves opinions, folks. This is the type of game that if you were wanting to draft a Cam Ward or a Ewers or Milroe or whoever in the draft, these are the types of games that make you say, okay, I'm willing to say now there is absolutely no reason to draft a quarterback, or at least we're moving in that direction of not having a reason to draft a quarterback. If you know that you can continue to build around Bryce and he can continue to take these next steps with this offensive line and build up on some talented defensive players, that's an incredible opportunity and one that I think Dan Morgan and Dave Canales would covet very deeply. I know I'm long-winded, CK, but I want to say one more thing. Yeah. We've mentioned before that Dave Canales continues to do this thing where he won't come out and outright say, Bryce is the starter. Bryce is the starter. Like, he won't give that verbal vote of confidence to the public about Bryce Young. And I've been thinking about it. I love that. And I'll tell you why. Because if that gets Bryce Young to have this type of swagger like we have on screen right now, and for him to continue to go out and play like his job, like his NFL future is on the line, I'm all for that, baby. And I think that's part of the reason why now you're starting to see the best of Bryce Young. Not only just the offensive line, not just Chuba Hubbard, but he has pressure on his shoulders as to what type of future NFL quarterback that he will be. And I'm hoping that type of pressure is building diamonds, okay?
Yeah. So number one, I think that it's fair to say that last year, we see a lot of these quarterbacks that are really high draft picks not be successful after 1 year because they're in a really bad situation. And then there's a lot of scenarios where you feel like they're broken, right? And so number one, I think what is happening is a lot of people, like that caller, right? He wants to be optimistic, but he also wants to be realistic. Well, here's the thing. The difference between those two things is Bryce, you're like, when you're looking at it from that perspective, you're evaluating Bryce as the quarterback that we drafted last year. We know he is not that. We know that he is not the number 1 overall pick that we thought he was going to be. But to see progress and seeing him moving in that direction, I think is worthy of optimism. While he's not, like you said, Cody, he's not all the way there. And that's fair. But it's also fair to be able to acknowledge the progression that he's had.
Yeah, you see KG73 is in the chat. It says he threw for 126 yards. Look, and that's why I have said nothing was proven to me today. I am not ready to sit here on this podcast and say to all of you, Bryce is hands down the future at the quarterback position for the Carolina Panthers. We have not seen enough to be able to say that. But I'm not freaking out at the low numbers either. 126 yards, very few attempts. Dude, right now, that's all you need to do to build on Bryce, to build his confidence. You don't want him throwing the ball that many times anyway.
Right.
Run the ball with Chuba. That's why you paid him, and protect your quarterback.
I'm losing signal, guys, right now. Phone's like overheating at the same time, so I might be in and out. But again, look, because the Panthers don't have many wins on their schedule ahead of them, but every win gives a little bit more confidence in the future, and it's not just with Bryce Young, but with the head coach and some different things. So a lot of progress to be made. And one other thing is that the Panthers have done this against terrible, terrible teams.
Yes, that is the truth. Vegas, the Saints, and the Giants are not good teams. But, dude, a W is a W, man. And listen, I think that we're really going to see what type of team we're going to be and have the potential to be this year when we play the Chiefs. Like, I know it's just so easy for everyone just to write it off and be like, nah, it won't be competitive. But if y'all remember the last time we played the Chiefs with Teddy Bridgewater on the roster, we were pretty competitive. So, again, you don't have to do too much. If Bryce is starting to really come into this role as a game manager, I think that's a good thing for us. I think it's a good thing for our offense. Continue to do enough by not doing too much. That's what I think. Let's take
Cody, I'm going to need you guys to finish out the show because my phone is going nuts. All right,
hey,
but game ball goes to Chuba for me and for the offensive line as well.
All right, man. Shout out Tony Dunn. Have a great Sunday, brother. We'll take it from here, bro. All right, let's jump in. CK, we only have we have one more call that came in, so we have 3 more calls left. Let's power through. Let me make sure I didn't play this one. Tell me
what up, C3 family?
Yeah, we did play this one. Okay.
Gentlemen, it's good to see y'all smiling again because how often do the Panthers win 2 games in a row? They did it, and let me think. Do you think Chuba Hubbard is going to make the Pro Bowl this year?
It better.
I mean, I thought he was a very good second-string running back. He turned out to be kind of a bell cow starter, so good for Chuba Hubbard. Happy for him. I think this team needs a middle linebacker, more on the defensive line, and a franchise quarterback, and this team can do something. But tell you what, so far, Dave Canales, Dan Morgan, congratulations to him. What are your thoughts? Bye-bye.
Congratulations to him. Listen, I think we made our opinions pretty much known. I think that this was a good step forward. I think it's competitive. I think that this game also confirmed some things that we still knew. Ejiro Rivero, CK, I still don't trust a lot. We know that we're going to have a brand new defensive coordinator before the start of next season anyway, but just a lot of situational play calling from the defense that I don't love. Other than that, dude, I think that we're moving in the right direction, and I really like what Dan Morgan and Dave Canales have done thus far with this Panthers team.
Yeah, dude, I think that just like we're seeing Bryce progress, we're seeing Dave Canales progress as well.
Yeah. No, I 100% think so too, man. All right, let's take our second to last call.
Hey, guys, something to think about for fans. I know we're all excited right now and everything, and some of the heat's finally coming off Bryce is what, I guess the first time ever, because the heat's been on him really since that trade. He was going to be the pick, right? Just something to think about. When we lose to Kansas City, let's face it, we're probably going to lose. It's probably going to be nasty. And we may have a couple more losses. People are going to start losing their mind on Bryce again. I want you to think about who was over there on the other side of that field today. The Giants have a GM and coach who are about to get fired despite having a playoff run, guys, 2 years ago and winning a playoff game because they had a mediocre quarterback who had a pretty good year, and they went and paid him like a franchise quarterback. And now that franchise is synced over it. It's probably going to cost them their jobs. He's probably gone after the year. So whenever people talk about, oh, my God, the Panthers are in this terrible situation, and, oh, my God, well, it was us, and we got it so bad, I want you to think about the Giants and then think about the team that we could have been, which is the Cleveland Browns, for giving up all that draft capital and giving Deshaun Watson that fully guaranteed contract. So all I'm saying is that I know Bryce isn't everything we want him to be. I know he's not C.J. Stroud, but he could be our Alex Smith. San Francisco fans never really embraced Alex Smith. They never really appreciated him. And I understand because they passed up on Rodgers. But, Alex Smith was not the worst thing ever. He was not dog crap.
He was never a bad quarterback.
He was not incompetent. He was just a good, steady, competent quarterback. And I think that's what Bryce is going to turn out to be. I don't think he'll ever be worth what we gave up for him, but people got to get over that. People got to get over the C.J. Stroud thing.
That's what I'm saying.
People got to get over the Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels thing this year. Just get over it. Let it go. If nothing else, if he's solidly competent, we could walk away from him a couple of years and say, hey, listen, we don't want to pay the guy long term. And in the meantime, instead of drafting another quarterback the next couple of years, we could take all that money and all that draft capital and we can invest it in offensive line, defense, defense in general, everything else we need. So you bring a guy in, he's not playing with a bunch of old scrubs, which is what Bryce played with. So keep pounding, but I just want to give that for fans to remember. I know they're extremely short-sighted. If myopia was a condition of fans, it would be extreme. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, man. CK, your thoughts on that call?
Yeah, I mean, he's echoing exactly what I said. I mean, we know that Bryce is not the game changer that we want him to be, but I don't think there's going to be a scenario where he's ever going to be able to be worth the amount that we gave up for him, especially in hindsight, knowing that it ended up being a number 1 overall pick in addition to so it was like super valuable, right? Hindsight, in that moment, you had no idea we were going to be the worst team in the NFL, right? You hope that drafting a number 1 overall draft pick quarterback is going to be enough to propel you somewhere. But to acknowledge that that's the case and that he can be a solid player for us moving forward, I think is worthy of at least acknowledging that, we have some work to do, but Bryce Young has made improvements, and I think he has the capability to be a really good quarterback in this league, just not a great one.
Well, and CK, we can be mature enough to say that the story has yet to be written.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're only a certain amount of way through his second year. The Green Bay Packers had no idea what they had in Jordan Love. I mean, the dude sat for 3 years, right? We just don't know what the conversation around Jordan Love would have been if they would have thrown him right to the Wolves. Maybe he would have already been a bust in the NFL. Listen, I'm not the biggest Bryce Young believer. People know that about me.
What?
But like I have always said, I'm going to give the dude every opportunity to win me over and either make me look wrong or prove that my initial assessment was right about him. And by the way, my initial assessment is that he could be a good NFL quarterback. I don't ever predict him being a superstar, but we mentioned Alex Smith right there, and that is an elite game manager quarterback.
Yeah.
And listen, CK, I know that you're a big time Kirk Cousins fan, and it is really good, but I would also put a player like Kirk Cousins, and I don't even mean it as an insult. I would put Kirk Cousins as like a high-level game manager. And you see that you're able to win a lot of football games doing just that. So, in my mind, Bryce Young is starting to move in that direction of being the type of game manager that we wanted him to be. Give him another offseason to grow and put more weapons around him and build up the defense. Let him continue to get a little older, a little bit stronger. You never know, man. We could all be eating our words. Those who doubted him, we could all be eating our words when it comes to Bryce Young this time next year.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's the hope. I mean, right now, if you can have a complementary football team where your defense is good, your offense is good, I think those teams have historically been able to make a pretty reasonable push into the playoffs. And I know many people are going to laugh at this, but I think the 49ers are an incredible idea of what this team could look to be with the having superstars, but your quarterback is not necessarily making these ridiculous throws like a Pat Mahomes is doing, right? He does, like Cam says, he's a game manager. If Bryce Young can beat Brock Purdy, which is wild to think because Brock Purdy was not even close to being a first round draft pick. But if he can be in the ballpark of what Brock Purdy is, I think there's a lot of value in what he's able to do.
Yeah, and I like what JT says. People got to stop and no eating our words. Bryce Young was called out for his absolutely terrible performances. That's it. Yeah, nobody was being a hater. I mean, there were people that didn't like Bryce before, but that didn't matter to saying what type of quarterback he had been playing like to that point. CK, we have one more call. But listen, even on a day when we get big-time victories like this, you'd think that there would be no room for shame in our lives. But, dude, I don't know that I agree with that assessment that I just made. And I think that we've got 180 people watching on YouTube who need to hear what kind of shame we're talking about. Talk to him, CK.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, you have joined us after an incredible Panthers win. The first time we've had a back-to-back win in a ridiculously long time. So you've come to talk about it. It's not a therapy session, it's a celebration. But you haven't hit that like button yet. You haven't hit that thumbs up button. Maybe you're on Twitter and you haven't hit that share button. Well, I have one thing to say to all you absolute freaks. Subscriber shame.
$168 viewers. We got 59 thumbs up. Listen, man, we're just coming hot off an election, and every American had their right to vote. If you are a citizen of the C3 Nation, the way that you can vote, the right that you have, is to hit that like button, baby. That is what helps the C3 Panthers podcast continue to grow, continue to bring you the content and the discussions that you want around the Carolina Panthers. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. We are a year-round production. So during the season, during the off season, during draft time, C3 Panthers podcast has you covered. CK, let's take another call.
Let's do it.
C3 family, back-to-back weeks calling in about a dub. I don't think I've ever been able to do that. It's Colby from Greenville. I just wanted to call and give a quick shout-out to the family. I'm glad we got this W today. I don't care who we're playing. I don't care what our record is. Winning is winning, and I love to see it. Bryce had a good day. He didn't have a great day, but not y'all, but the fan base really needs to leave him alone. This might not be a quarterback who's going to throw the ball 40 damn times every single game for 300 yards. Because you've got Chuba Hubbard, who is an amazing running back, and now you're going to have Brooks coming back. So that's going to be some serious mouths that have to be fed. So that 40 and 50 times throwing the ball every game, you can forget that shit. And that's not how we're going to play winning football in Carolina. So most importantly, my game ball goes to Big A. Sean Robertson. Everybody was talking about Brian Burns. This game will go down as his revenge game. Super proud of him and Chuba. J.C. Horn, pay that man right now. That man is a leader. Every time there's a skirmish and people need to be to the front of the lines, J.C. Horn is the first one in the pile talking shit to everybody. I love it. Keep pounding. Keep pushing forward.
Keep pounding. Dude, we haven't even mentioned Ashawn Robinson enough, CK. What did the dude have 3 sacks? Was it 2 or 3? I want to say 3.
He had 1 sack and 2 tackles for a loss. So did DJ Wanham.
Yeah, dude, listen, and at a time when we were without Derek Brown, God, it makes you wonder what this defensive line could have been with Derek Brown, with DJ Wanham to start, with Jadeveon Clowney, with Ashawn Robinson. But I believe right now Ashawn Robinson he's tied with the most amount of sacks on the team already. Or he has the most, but his total today was like around the amount that we've had all season or something like that. It was absurd, dude. Ashawn Robinson, he did a great job today, and he was an important part of our pass rush. I lied to you, CK. We have one more call.
Okay.
This is me, Dog 1983 TV.
Dog.
And it was just kind of, this was a cardiac cats type of game today. Like, we almost lost this game. Like, it was ahead. Like, the Giants almost came back and won.
That's true.
Real quick, man, whenever you come in here, make sure you hit the motherfucking like button. Make sure you subscribe to the great fucking content. The guys go live every Tuesday and every Friday and every Sunday after the game.
That's it,
But
brother.
real
We
quick,
appreciate
man, I
you
gotta
saying
give Cody a shout out. Me and Cody been on this train a long time ago that Brady Christensen is a left tackle.
Yep.
And these last couple of games he's been playing, to me, he's just been playing stellar ball. The whole offensive line, really. Even K. Mays at the center position.
I agree.
But, man, you could bring Icky back, let Icky play center or guard, whatever. I don't know. Just keep BC at left tackle, and it'll be just fine, you know. But it was a good game today. Bryce still been playing good, no turnovers, you know. I'm not going to say I don't want to draft a quarterback. No, I'm fine with drafting Shador or Cam Ward and having a quarterback battle. But besides that, then we got some juice today from DJ Wanham. You know, so he played today. Only thing I was upset with was DJ Evero had him in coverage on some plays. I don't need him in fucking coverage because we need a fucking pass rush. Let him go get the fucking quarterback and get his fucking legs up under him, you know. Besides that, it was a good game, man. We won the game. You know, we had some drops. Probably would have had Bryce stats looking better. But it's all right, man. And then Bryce missed one. He overthrew Cody just a little bit on that one route on the third down. But hey, he's getting better. And at least he got down, you know, showing reaction and everything. Like, fuck. You know, like, man, I fucked up. Usually he just got down and just went off the field, whatever. With no emotion, you know. You can tell he's been getting better. But anyways, man, whenever you come in here, hit a motherfucking like button. Subscribe to this motherfucking great content. Brady Christensen is a motherfucking left tackle, you know. And I ain't hear nobody talking about this goddamn, you know, his blocking or percentages or nothing these last couple of games. His pass block rating and none of that, you know. I hope.
Dude, hey, he's on my team, bro.
Well,
I've been
I mean,
saying
it's
this forever. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've been on this for a minute, but I also think, again, I'm not saying take anything away from Brady Christensen, but I mean, I think we also have got to give this coaching staff its flowers, right? Like when you came into, let's be real about it. We have a backup center who's backing up a guy who hasn't played center in the NFL, in Austin Corbett. Both of those guys have played like they've started center all season, you know, when they were in there. Or had like multiple years at the position, right? You have Brady Christensen then move over to left tackle from center, and he just does the same thing, which, again, I think that's a credit to that dude. He's obviously versatile. But, like, even with our offensive line being injured and losing pieces, like, we still have been dominant. And name an offensive line that you can say that about. So I think that it's a credit to them putting the people in the players in the right positions, but it's also a credit to this coaching staff. I mean, like, let's be real about it. I mean, none of us would have given this offensive line a chance with the injuries that they've had.
No.
You know, and here they are coming in here against the top 5 defensive line. Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns. Was Thibodeau even there today? I didn't even see him at all.
If he was, it was a non-factor.
Right. So, I mean, it's like when you look at it from that perspective, I mean, it's hard. Chuba had a career day running the ball. Bryce didn't get sacked but one time, and that was on a bootleg, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and that wasn't even really because of that. It was because of the turf causing him to slip.
Yeah, and also the tight end kind of didn't really pick up the block.
Right.
But, yeah, dude, shout out to this O-line, man. And, again, I know I'm a broken record at this point, but it's a credit to Dan Morgan for going out and get Gabriel Lewis and Robert Hunt instead of completely overpaying Brian Burns. Like, the amount of people, and that's why I took a lot of flack for this online too. Everybody that was saying that the Panthers got fleeced in that New York Giants trade really just pissed me off, man. It's like, can you not live in anything else than the moment? Like, why not see how this turns out before we start to poo-poo all over the Panthers and say that they got fleeced? Like, it's already clear that money that would have been spent on Brian Burns was so much better off going towards protection for Bryce and ability to run the football for Jonathan Brooks in the future and Chuba Hubbard now.
Let's look at it from this perspective. And I've said this multiple times, but I'm telling you, if you look at it from this perspective, you're going to be like, oh, we made the right choice. The money that we paid for Brian Burns, we used to pay for Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt. Cody just alluded to that. We also used that draft pick that we got to not only pick up Jonathan Brooks, but to get another second-round draft pick in this upcoming draft, which we didn't have a second-round draft pick this upcoming draft. So we were able to completely fill out our draft board or our draft picks from doing that. And so when you look, we traded Burns for, and I know it wasn't a direct correlation with Hunt and Damian Lewis, but it is a direct correlation. And if you look at it as a reasonable human would, we got those two guys as opposed to Burns. We got Jonathan Brooks, who we will see hopefully next week, who was largely considered the best running back in the draft. After, also trading back into the draft, using that pick to trade back before getting Brooks to get that second round pick. So I'll tell you this much. Burns was not worth all of that.
No.
I'll tell you that much.
No.
And that's proof today. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but I'll tell you what, the Giants just lost to the Panthers, and that's got to not feel very good.
No.
After paying that man $100 and some million and giving up the draft pick that you did.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And people thought that we were hating on Brian Burns at the end of his time here in Carolina. Like, obviously, we would have loved to have had him instead of not having him. But sorry, we're just not going to pay you top edge money when you're not a top edge and you've never really demonstrated the ability to do so consistently, man.
Yeah.
But CK, that's going to bring us to the end of another post-game show, man. That means there's only a couple things we got left to do before we get out of here. First up, let's divvy up some of these towels of shame. This is where we give somebody the towel of shame. I lied earlier when I said we only have room for a little bit of shame. We got room for lots of shame. CK, would you like to go first? Is there anyone you would give?
You go ahead, and I'll let you take the honors just in case.
Dude, mine is simple, bro. I'm going Brian Burns. Brian Burns. Sorry, dude. You were supposed to be the dude. We were supposed to be so devastated that we lost you. The Carolina Panthers named your brother like the ultimate Panther fan ambassador, then went on to do some shady shit. Dude, towel of shame to Brian Burns. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. Stay in New York, where Spider-Man is supposed to be. My dog Christensen had him on lock.
So mine, at this point in time, you have to go with the guy who legitimately had the towel of shame on his head at the end of the game, and that's Tracy. dude came out. He played a really good game, but when it was all on the line, he let the ball go, and that's an unfortunate situation for that dude to have this loss on his shoulders, because it was obviously, in my mind, Daniel Jones was the biggest problem for them. But I tell you what, man, you gotta hold on to the ball. You're in the overtime. You've been playing a good game. You've got to take that towel of shame at this point in time.
Got to. Now, since Tony Dunn's not here, we don't have to mention the balls of a certain ballet dancer. We can do what we know we need to do and dab on them folk.
I just like doing it, man. Dab on them folks. Dab on them folks. And that dab on them folks. They like seeing it. Tell me what to do. Dab on them folks.
Dab on them folk. Listen, man. Everybody needs to board the Chuba train. If you haven't before, if you were one of the people who said that Chuba wasn't worth it, if you were one of the people who said that that man didn't deserve to be paid and we shouldn't be paying another running back, well, look, Chuba Hubbard came out today and shoved it in your face. And I couldn't be more happy for it, dude. Chuba Hubbard is the man. I love the success that he's having. And CK, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. He's probably my favorite Canadian of all time.
Fair. Yeah, I mean, Chuba had a great game. I tell you what, if I'm going to go, I have to give, dude, there were so many good defensive plays, I feel like, that were just the players just putting themselves in the best position.
There's a bunch.
It's got to go. I mean, but here's the thing that, you know what? I'm going to go with one. I'm going to give the flowers to the guy. I've been an advocate for this dude since the end of last year, middle of last year. Eddie Pinheiro continues to come out here and do. He drilled that 53-yarder, and that would have been good for 60 plus. So I think I'm tired of this mindset that this dude can only kick 20-yarders, and that's he's money from there. I mean, I don't think he's missed a field goal yet this year. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think he's missed one yet. And if he hasn't, that's incredible. But if he has, it was, obviously something that wasn't that important since I'm not remembering it. But dude, yeah, I mean, it's Eddie Pinheiro has been money. And once we can start to keep these games tight like this one was, or when we're playing some actual contenders, I think this dude's going to have some walk off field goals.
Yeah,
like
we
today,
have to
technically.
Yeah, he literally did it today. Listen, I just checked the voicemail, and there's a person in here now who we couldn't end the show without letting ourselves hear from him. It's Bryce Young's biggest super fan, G-Baby into his house.
Hey. You know who the fuck it is. Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka! What's good with my boys? What's Gucci with your Cody Lack? Yeah.
What up?
That revenge tour is gonna be fucking beautiful, man. What's good with you, CK? And what's good with my line of Italian brother? Y'all, we won today. I feel great. I feel great that I can go into work tomorrow with my head high the entire week. Bryce played impeccable. Yes, I said it. He played impeccable. He did enough just to get us the fucking win, man. This league we love called the NFL, it's all about winning and it's all about fucking losing, bro. It's those two things. And the fact that we fucking won, and these players and these coaches and these fans that fucking flew their asses clear the fuck to fucking Germany can fucking be happy and celebrate on the way home back to the motherfucking States. I want to give a shout out to you fucking the Panther fans out in Germany, man. Y'all motherfuckers is live. Y'all motherfuckers is live.
They really were, dude.
It's just nice to see how many fucking Panther fans that are out in Germany. I know y'all got your own little team that is called the Panthers and whatnot, but I'd be okay with making this a home game every year. I mean, goddamn, the way these motherfucking fans showed up, it just blows pulls our fans out of the water at Bank of America. Like, goddamn, man. I would be okay to play every game in fucking Germany if the fans are going to show up like that. Like, that shit was fucking lit. And shout out to all the fucking NFL great Panther greats that went out there. Luke, TD, Julius Peppers, Steve Smith. I seen Jonathan Stewart out there, man. Shout out to you boys for making the motherfucking trip and supporting the motherfucking Panthers, dog. That's what's up, man. Real motherfucking fans, man. Oh, man. I felt great, man. Love to see the connection. Fucking, I told you all when we got Bryce Young, there's one fucking position he loves to give it to, and that's tight end. Shout out to my motherfucking Longhorn, baby. Savion Sanders. Shout out to you, G, for getting that first study, baby. Shout out to you, dog. Hey, XL, continue to make them big passes. I know you got a couple of jobs, but we gonna fix that. Coco, continue to fucking play well, man. This offensive line is playing well. Chuba, you made me eat my words, man. I had to face you in 2 different fucking fantasy leagues, and I'm down by fucking 25 points right now. So shout out to you, man. You shut me the fuck up. I got another call, y'all.
All right, we got his last one.
G, baby. Yeah, I had to face Chuba in 2 different fucking fantasy leagues. The Clash of the Titans, the C3 league. I had to face him in that league, and then I had to play him in fucking Twan's league. So the week I'm just shitting on this guy. He gets the bag, and you know what he does? He shuts me the fuck up. So shout out to you, Chuba Hubbard, for fucking shutting me the fuck up. I've been a fan, but I'm not about to just overpay for the position and do this and this. I was against it, but you know what? You shut me up, man. So I'm gonna give you your roses, man. You ran very hard. You ran with passion. Had a career game, man, and you know what? Shout out to you, dog. Shout out to you. Shout out to Alshon Robinson, man. Alshon Robinson. Is it Alshon Robinson? Well, shout out to the big gorilla in the fucking middle, man. That was a revenge game right there, G. That's what a fucking revenge game looks like. That dude was everywhere, man. And then you get fucking DB, you get Big Grizzly back. Next year, like, run it back with fucking Ashawn, a fucking Derrick Brown. Oh, man. I feel good, man. I feel real good. You dig it? I feel good. I feel real good right now, man. Don't let us fucking don't let us be Kansas City. A lot of motherfuckers say, we ain't got no chance. Well, you know what? It's the motherfucking NFL, and y'all ever heard of trap games? And then we got to that, we got Dallas. Dak's out for the year. Hey, right now. Is it possible? Is it possible the Panthers could go on a 4-game winning streak? I see us having a top 15 to 20 pick. Fuck all the bullshit, man. I love the draft, but I'm not about to be a biased motherfucker and just pray on the worst of the Panthers so they can get a fucking highest pick, man. No, fuck that, man. We building the motherfucker culture in Carolina, and you know what? I'm driving fucking through the Sahara Desert, y'all, and there's Panther fans all over, man. I'm lending my hand out to you motherfuckers. I'm lending my hand out to you motherfuckers. This is the last time I'm doing this shit. All aboard. I'm trying to help you guys. Get on to the fucking train. Get on to the motherfucking train. Can you guys see this shit? I'm in the desert, lending my hand out to you motherfuckers before it's too late. Like JC said, man. Like JC Horn said, man. We ain't gonna take a lot of new visitors in this motherfucker, man. Shout out to the motherfucking Carolina Panthers for letting me have a great fucking week. We got a bye week, and y'all know who's coming. His name's fucking Jonathan fucking Brooks, man. Shout out to the motherfucking panel. Shout out to my white Italian brother. You already know who it is, man. Hey, all hell King motherfucking Bryce, man. Shout out to my motherfucking light-skinned baby face assassin for getting that W today, baby. Gee, baby, and I'm fucking out.
Keep pounding.
Oh, man, the emotion, dude.
Love it. Couldn't end the show without G-Baby coming and dropping some love for Bryce. We gotta let him, man. Gotta let him do it. That's what C3, that's what we do, man. We let all Panther fans let their voice be heard. Yeah. So we ask y'all, if you enjoyed the content, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit that notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. We will be back Tuesday night at 9 p.m. for another edition of our flagship show, the C3 Panthers podcast. CK, love you, brother. It's been a great morning.
Yeah, man, it's been fun. I'm glad we got to get a early day out of the way. Enjoy the rest of this football, and walk into this next week with a win.
That's it, baby. Well, C3 Legion, we love y'all, and you already know what we're going to do. Until next time, keep pounding, Panthers. Let's go.